11 and 9, something like that, because my mother carried it, the guilt on her for the rest of her life, that she could not do anything to take care of those two little boys, and that John became an alcoholic. Kinlaw didn't become an alcoholic, so John, there was no reason for John to have had more emotional problems than Kinlaw would have had. But Andy, I don't believe that anybody could have been better to those two little boys. Knowing Granny Ida, I don't think anybody could have been. I know that she limited the number of clothes that they had in the wash each week because she had so many baby clothes that had to be washed. But after all, little boys don't mind being grungy and dirty. And I'm sure that she did not let them get filthy dirty before the laundering was done. But whatever it was, I know that she kept them well fed, and whatever tending to that boys that age would have needed, she would have given it. I never saw Big Ida mean or vicious or unkind, and I don't believe she was ever unkind to those two little boys. So anyway, it is just something, but Mother just felt so responsible for taking care of them. And here she'd had Mariah, then she had Louis. Okay, before she had Louis, the baby that died came between Louis and Mariah. So 3 of them came along within 2 years. I don't see how she could have done anything more than she did. Okay, I have it like paradise here in comparison to what it was like in those Depression years. And well, this, of course, this was World War I time that I'm talking about. If your mom was born in 1916. But anyway, do you remember specifically anything else that Nolan was this, she was an exquisite little teeny tiny doll-like girl. She married the great big man and she had big children. But she would say, I just couldn't ever make those biscuits. This is when she was an old lady. Mm-hmm. So the husband had to do the cooking. And so anyway, then she was probably close to 100 years old when she said, I just couldn't cook. So Andy, I just thought she was just a hothouse plant. She had been a school teacher, and let me see how many children. I don't even know how many children she had, 2 or 3. Anyway, Sarah is the only one that I knew. And maybe
Sarah had moved back to where? She
was living in Knoxville. That's and right. Taking care of her mother at that time. And she just begged and implored that Ralph and I we were taking Mother back to Kentucky, bring her back. Knoxville. Mother cared nothing about it. I don't think Nolan cared anything about it, but Ralph and I had the most fantastic trip. We got to go to a tobacco auction that they had there in Knoxville with Sarah. She took us back to Oak Ridge. We'd already visited the Oak Ridge nuclear place earlier, where we took the children there. So exactly where we were going when we did it, I don't know. Julie must have lived in Tennessee at the time. But the Manhattan Project, I did read the story of the Manhattan Project, and that evolved at Oak Ridge. But anyway, so we went back to see what had happened. Not at it is now the 3 Mile Island B&W Babcock Wilcox now at the nuclear plant in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, that is south of Knoxville. But we visited the University of Tennessee. Sarah had been librarian there. We saw